Well, Charles, a lot of hype about Ferrari coming into the weekend. Looks like the pace is there, look like you're fast, look like you were enjoying yourself. How was your Friday?
Very difficult. We are facing quite a few issues on brakes on my side, so we are trying to fix those. So the confidence is not at the highest level at the moment, but apart from that, it's a track I love, and I'm sure that if we manage to fix those for tomorrow, it will be a good step forward. But unfortunately, it's been since Canada that I'm struggling a little bit on that. So we are trying to find solutions. I hope we do for tomorrow, and if so, I don't doubt that we will do a step forward.
Are the issues you had in Canada the same as you're experiencing here, and are you clear on what you can do overnight to improve those?
I mean, it's very specific what we are having, and yes, it's a similar issue in Canada than in here. We are working towards making the situation better. We have few ideas in order to make it better. We didn't manage to find a clear solution so far, but I hope we can for tomorrow.
It's Monaco, anything can happen, but you're still confident that you can be in the fight for pole against Lewis and maybe even Max Verstappen, who was a surprise there.
Max has been very strong, the Red Bull have been very strong, and Lewis have been very strong as well. So yeah, but at the end of the day, it's not been a disastrous day. We are very close to Lewis in FP2, so I'm not so worried, but it's going to be a tough qualifying for sure. It's going to be very tight, and if we do a step forward with the brake, surely it can help us for the fight for pole.
Talk to me about your day. We expected Ferrari to be fast, but how was it for you in the Mercedes?
Yeah, we expected Ferrari to be the guys to beat. A lot of people thought that was just chat, but clearly they are the team to beat, and I think Red Bull have also been a bit of a surprise for us. We knew out of the races so far this was going to be our most challenging. It's probably been slightly more challenging than we would have hoped, but we did make some good improvements from FP1 into FP2. We need to make the same step again overnight, and I don't think we nailed it today. So there is room to improve, but definitely Ferrari are the team.
0.379 seconds off the leading pace of Lewis Hamilton. Are you clear in your mind as to the direction you need to take overnight to be in the fight for pole tomorrow?
I got to be honest, the trends that we see with Ferrari every year here and on street tracks and what we've seen today have been there for probably 10 years, to be honest. I think every car has like a inherent DNA, and their inherent DNA, especially on the mechanical side of the car, clearly works on these street tracks, especially when there's a lot of warp in the corners dropping away. We're doing everything we can to try and make those improvements, but and as I said, I do think we can close the gap if we can overcommit. I'm not sure.
Good luck. Thank you, George.
This morning, it looked like you were given plenty of space and it just caught you out. Firstly, just talk me through that session and when you lost the car in the morning.
Yeah, I mean, it was going pretty okay. Actually, I think I was on good laps and gaining confidence, and it's when I gained that confidence, I had that moment. It really caught me off guard, so really didn't expect to lose it here. Also, it's not a crash you often see here, losing the rear like that, so I was surprised, and yeah, definitely a tough one.
Great work, obviously, by the team to get you back out, and actually, with the laps you got, you looked decent out there. So what was the feel for the car then?
I tried to build the confidence back again. Really took no risks, and lap by lap, just exploring a bit more, and it took me a minute to get there, and there's still a lot to find, but definitely felt decent towards the end. So yeah, let's see overnight what we can cook for tomorrow.
Because you still have obviously got one more practice session to go, and with that confidence and the pace of the car, do you think you can haul yourself into the fight with the Ferraris and the Mercedes tomorrow?
Definitely looking to fight some of the Mercedes. I think the top three is very strong and on a very good momentum, so we need a very, very strong FP3 to get things working and close the gap, but hopefully we make the most of it and go into quali and keep the same ramp up.
Okay, your pace was really difficult to read today from the outside. Just what did it feel like inside the car?
It felt okay, just not as speedy as we would like, unfortunately. So yeah, a bit of a difficult one. I think we made a bit of progress for FP2, but Yeah, I mean we went from a second and a half off to a second off, so it's been a tough day for us for sure. So some things to find overnight, definitely.
Were you surprised by that from that first session, that how far off you were then, based on that?
Yeah, you know, we always expected Ferrari to be quick, and they look very, very quick as well. But yeah, we were hoping we would be a fair bit closer. So yeah, let's see what we can try and muster up for tomorrow.
Have you already got quite a few ideas of things you wanted to try, and you just obviously couldn't change with FP2 because we've still got one more session to go?
Not massively, no. You know, I think in today's Formula One, there's never anything you can do to turn the car completely upside down. So we'll try and find something for sure because we need to. But yeah, I don't have any great ideas at the moment.
All right, well, best luck for the rest of the weekend.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Cheers.
Looks like an incredibly strong Friday for you, running in the top 10 the whole day. How was it in the Audi?
Yeah, it was okay. I think P1 we have faced a few issues, but still we managed to put the car in the top 10. P2 everything felt smooth and clean, and I built up through the session. I think the soft could have been a little bit smoother from my side. It took me a little bit to put a good lap time, a bit on the traffic side and everything, but at the end I'm happy, you know, still managed to put an okay lap up there, understand a little bit our balance, our limitations, and work for tomorrow.
Is there more to come from the team? Are there areas where you feel it could still be improved more coming into Saturday?
Definitely, there is a lot of things we can improve and be better. Yeah, just a lot of work to be done tonight from my side, and trying to put the car in a little bit better place. Even if we are in a decent place already, there is always a little bit we can improve, as you said.
Paper looked like a slightly challenging Friday for you. How was it in the car?
Yeah, I mean, it's only FP2. You know, it's tomorrow that matters. Today was about figuring out, you know, our way around and looking at the limitations of the car. Obviously, we have get a good data now for this, so it's up to us to work around them and try and improve the car for tomorrow morning when you start, you know, getting closer to the wall and pushing harder. So we'll see where we are tomorrow.
Traffic always a problem in Monaco, but a bit of tripping over your teammate in FP1. Will you just have a word with Ollie later and smooth things over?
I mean, everyone's talking about that. There's no issues at all. You know, Ollie was getting blocked basically by the cars in front, so he had to back out, and I was the one impeded by him. So we saw places after that. As soon as it was communicated by him that I was coming behind, he let me go. It was just needed the communication inside the team, and that was done.
A wall tap from you in FP2, but how are you feeling in the car across Friday?
Our feeling was okay. I think still a lot of things to improve and a lot to work on. Really struggling with the brakes in some places. There is some stuff to fix for tomorrow, but I think we normally do these steps from Friday to Saturday, so we need to work a little bit and understand a little bit more the car, understand a few more things, and try to come back stronger for tomorrow.
Can you just put us in the driving seat of what driving one of these 2026 cars is like relative to the 2025 car around Monaco?
Well, it is lighter and a bit shorter, a bit smaller car in general compared to last year, so it's moving around a bit more, and it's okay to drive. You don't have the clip as much as in other tracks, so we have deployment all around the track, which is good. It makes it a bit, it makes it feel a bit more natural, which is also good. So yeah, nice to be back in Europe. Excited for this European season, and yeah, let's try to have a good start in Monaco.
Hey Alex, well, it looked a bit tricky out there to get the max out of the car. Were you surprised with kind of how tricky it was?
Yes, yeah, I thought deployment would not be an issue here, but it's still there. So we were just playing around with it. There's obviously a lot of traffic as well, which makes 22 cars around a small track. Makes it tricky basically to optimise what the battery wants to do. So that's been a bit of a tricky one. I think Q1s are going to be tricky to get through. You just need to make sure everything's okay. But honestly, feeling okay. I think it's 2 sessions we're hovering around, you know, P10. Definitely some areas to improve on the car. So yeah, I'm optimistic. It's tricky out there though. These cars are not easy to drive.
I mean, this place is obviously all about quali and that one lap pace.
Yeah.
I know traffic's always going to be a problem, but when you got clear run out there, did it feel good when you?
Feels okay. Feels okay. I think it's super tyre related actually. I think basically we saw it in Canada as well. The tyres are high working range, and it's really hard to get that energy into the tyre. I think the top teams can do it naturally with their downforce, but you get the clean air and then you need 2 or 3 laps of pushing just to get the car into a good window. You get a bit of traffic, kind of restart the process again, so it is.
Well, Fernando, I think it's fair to say that the car looked challenging to drive today. How was it behind the wheel?
It was difficult day. Probably we were expecting a little bit more, a little bit easier around here, Monaco, one off, and maybe a better chance to be, fighting for something more. But unfortunately, we found a tricky car to drive. Also, the upshifts, downshifts are very tricky, and in Monaco, obviously, you need that perfection, into the corner and the approaching speed. The walls are very close, so. Yeah, some work to do tonight. Hopefully, we can find the way into tomorrow's FP3 and qualifying, and we will do a lot of changes tonight to the car. So let's hope for the best.
Is it clear to you what those changes are in the car?
Yeah, I mean it's very clear. We need to improve the engine response and the engine behavior around the downshifts, the upshifts, and this energy recovery. Obviously, we have this complex system that we recharge when we brake, and this has to interact with the downshifts and the way you approach the corners. And then on the chassis side, I think we were missing a lot of front end today, so we will do changes tonight to improve the front end and the front grip. So yeah, I mean, as I said, a lot of work, but we will try our best.
Hard worker that you are, you were here Tuesday trying to get comfortable in the car as well. Can you just talk to us about that from a comfort point of view? Have you at least found a good setup within the car?
Yeah, good setup. I went back to 2025 seat position, exactly the same. So I felt perfectly fine today. So now let's focus on the performance.
So Arvid, first time out in a Formula 1 car at Monaco. Apart from a few difficulties getting around the hairpin in FP1, how was it for you? You look like you kept your nose clean.
Yeah, I think it's been a decent day. I mean, obviously for me, when I woke up this morning, it was quite a special moment. I've watched many races on the TV of F1 cars driving in Monaco, and to have the opportunity myself is very cool. So just to get to drive today was a lot of fun. And then it's been pretty intense. It's been a busy day. It's probably been, I'd say, one of the busiest days so far in my career in F1. Just because of the nature of the track, where there's not many straights, but then also we're driving a lot, so basically no time in the garage. It's just very intense. Then obviously with these cars as well, there's a lot of things that we're working to try to get the most out of. So it's just been quite mentally taxing day, but no, it's been fun, and I think there's some things to work on for tomorrow. A bit on the PU side, a bit on the tyres, a bit on the driving, but I think we're going to be in the fight for it.
As you said, it's an overwhelming experience driving an F1 car in Monaco for the first time, but you're clear on the setup direction that you need for tomorrow to try and be in the mix for maybe a Q3 berth?
Yeah, I think we know what we need to do. It's a little bit in quite a few different areas, a bit on the tyres, a bit on the setup, a bit on driving, a bit on the PU. It's just about piecing everything together, and that's to be expected. It's a new car, new engine, new tyres here on such a unique track. So just trying to extract a little bit out of everything, and that should put us in a good place for tomorrow.
You said, after impressive FP1, to be honest, P14, not the way you wanted to end FP2. Can you just tell us what was going on with the car?
Yeah, unfortunately we had, I think, a brake failure, finding the limits, everything, it's important for Sunday. And it's been a strong Friday for us. We're really close, a few times will change our life completely, so I hope we can find them when they matter, and we can have a strong outing.
Despite the brake fire, you're obviously a winner around here. You think Q2 is on the cards tomorrow if you can carry the form from FP1 into Q qualifying?
I mean, we are close, but it will depend. I think we rely a little bit more on others messing up, which can happen around here. There can be a lot of chaos, so we just have to be there, put the lap when it matters, and get the maximum out of the car tomorrow. That's the target, and hopefully it can be our first Q2.
Fred, everybody was talking up Ferrari's chances this weekend, and yet you look like you are the team to beat. Is that how you're feeling inside the team?
No, I don't care about this kind of approach or rumors that we have to do the job. It's a very long way in Monaco from Friday to first to the quali and to the race. The most difficult is that you have to anticipate the evolution of the track, the evolution of the grip, and you have to be always one session ahead, and this is a a real challenge for the team and for the drivers. It means that still a long way, and we'll see tomorrow evening about the real pace.
We saw a great performance from Lewis in Canada. It looks like he's carried that momentum into Monaco. How gratifying is it for you to see the 7-time world champion really hitting his groove?
Oh, I think for sure it's important, and it's important for the competitiveness of the team at the end, because that we have a positive emulation that between them, it's also helping both sides of the garage, and it's also helping the team to develop the car, and yeah, the momentum is good, but most important is that the momentum will be good tomorrow evening.
And just finally, on the other side of the garage, Charles signing the extension. That must be nice for you. You worked with him since 2018.
No, it's a very good news and positive news for the team, for Ferrari, and I think for Charles. It's important to have this kind of continuity. We have a very good collaboration. We know each other, and he knows the team very well for ages now, because he was in the academy in 2016 or 2015, and in to build up this kind of project is it's a strong message for everybody internally and for the paddock.
Thank you, Fred.
Thank
Good
you.
luck.
Alright everyone, the feeling from the paddock heading into the first track session is really exciting. The biggest thing cooking in Monaco right now is not the driver's market, it's this. Ferrari has suddenly become the favorite. Multiple drivers and teams have effectively admitted that Monaco may be Ferrari's best chance to beat Mercedes this season. Ferrari's performance in the slow corners has everyone talked. And Monte Carlo is basically one giant slow speed sector. I'm really sorry. Mercedes are trying to downplay expectations even though they won every race so far. People around the paddock believe Monaco is the circuit where Mercedes' advantage could shrink dramatically. Also, I want to mention that FIA have decided to measure the cars when they're cold and when they will be hot, so Mercedes will be in a big trouble about that. We know why. So, Leclerc arrived Friday morning carrying the weight of the entire nation. The reporters want to know if the Ferrari finally has the car to win. The Monegasque was carefully not to declare Ferrari the favorite, but the one tone of his answer suggested confidence. Leclerc repeatedly emphasized execution, not speed, not predictions, execution. The reason is simple. Everyone in the paddock is telling Ferrari they're the team to beat. Leclerc doesn't want to hear it because Monaco has punished him before. The message from Leclerc today was, let's wait for qualifying before talking about victory. On the other hand, his teammate Hamilton spent much time on Friday morning answering questions about Ferrari's sudden rise. Coming off arguably Ferrari's stronger performance of the season in Canada, reporters want to know if Monaco could finally deliver the team's first win in 2026. Hamilton's tone was optimistic, but like Leclerc, he avoided making bold claims. The interesting thing is that Hamilton seems more focused on qualifying than race pace. That's a sign that where Ferrari genuinely believes track's position will decide everything. Norris, on the other hand, looked relaxed. He's the defending Monaco winner. One topic that kept coming up was Ferrari. Norris was essentially joined the growing list of drivers who believe Ferrari could have the strongest package this weekend. The feeling from Norris was, yes, McLaren can fight, but Ferrari looks very strong. That's a statement many people wouldn't have expected a few races ago. Piastri, on the other hand, focused heavily on confidence building. He talked about the Monaco's isn't a circuit where drivers arrive and immediately push at 100%. Every session is a progress, every lap about finding a few more centimeters. His approach sounded methodical. Exactly what you expect of Oscar Piastri. Max, on the other hand, looked like a man waiting to see what Friday will reveal. The question centered about Ferrari, around Mercedes, whether Red Bull can surprise people. Verstappen's response was basically classic Max. Let's see where we are after practice. But there was one interesting thing. He appeared to genuinely believe nobody knows the pecking order yet, which suggested Friday could be much more tighter than previous weekends. Russell had a very different atmosphere around him. Instead of being the hunter, Mercedes is now the hunted. Reported asked whether Monaco is finally a weekend Mercedes can be beaten. Russell remained calm. The message from Mercedes seemed clear. They're respecting Ferrari, but they're scared of them. Antonelli, the rookie that has won 4 races until now, continues to act like a veteran despite leading the championship. The young Italian was repeatedly asked whether Monaco represents the biggest challenge of his career so far. His answer was mature, respect the circuit, respect the walls, respect the process, trust the process, and what's striking is how little championship pressure seems to affect him. Alonso, the veteran, was probably the simplest. Monaco is still Monaco. No simulator can fully prepare you. No amount of data can replace experience. Alonso sounded like someone who believes chaos can happen this weekend. And if chaos happens, he wants Aston Martin in position to capitalize, hopefully with the car to be able to be driven. Albon focused on his opportunities. Williams knows Monaco can create unusual results. The team isn't expected to win for victory, but Albon clearly believes in the big qualifying results is possible. And honestly, Monaco is exactly the type of track where Albon can over-deliver. Carlos Sainz, on the other hand, seemed quietly optimistic. The Spaniard talked about confidence and rhythm. Monaco has always rewarded drivers who can adapt quickly, and Sainz knows this circuit as well as almost anyone on the grid. Gasly said that Alpine isn't entering Monaco expecting miracles, but they are entering Monaco believing the circuit could hide some of their weaknesses. The message was simple: get into Q3 and see what happens. Smart. The real story from all the paddock today, so I'm not gonna go from all of them. You heard what everyone was saying. I'm just doing my recap of some of the drivers. After speaking to the journalists Friday morning, almost every driver seemed to agree on one thing: Ferrari is the favorite. Drivers up and down the paddock keep pointing at Ferrari as the team most likely to challenge the victory. Nobody trusts the pecking order yet because Monaco is unique. Teams want to see real track running before making predictions. Saturday is everything because we have the qualifying. Every interview eventually comes back to qualifying. Leclerc knows it, Hamilton knows it, Norris knows it, Max, Russell, Alonso, and the entire paddock believes Monaco 2026 will be decided by one thing: who can produce the perfect lap in qualifying tomorrow. That is the angle I'd built if I were the driver of Formula 1. Like, it's like that. Like, the qualifying will decide who's going to be the winner. You're the fastest, you're the winner. And because of the corners, because of the tight corners, because of no straights, Ferrari is the possible winner or victor to this particular track. If you liked this particular video, please hit that like button. If you want to help our channel, subscribe to it. And if you have something to add up, comment down below, and we will see you in the next one. Ciao.